Welcome back, everybody. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the box office for Rebirth. Of course, we have to. We're going to talk about the special features that came out. We're going to talk a little bit about chaos theory. We've got a lot to discuss. My hair is crazy tonight. All that and more. And this is Let's Talk Jurassic. Welcome back, everybody. Got to move my computer a little bit. My hair is like standing straight up tonight. But it doesn't matter, whatever. We are doing this. We're live once again. It's been a few weeks now since we were last here. I went away for a little bit and I put out an episode last week, so you didn't really miss too much. You didn't miss a lot, but I did not live stream last week. I think it was only 1 week. Was it 2? It might have been 2. I forget. Might have been 2 weeks. Yeah. I guess it was 2 weeks. Because I think I was going to live stream 2 weeks ago. I had planned on it. But then, trying to prepare for the trip and everything, things got a little too hectic, and I did not get a chance to do a live stream for everybody. But then the following week, I was away. So yeah, it's been 2 weeks missed live streams, but we're back. Do we have anything to talk about? Is there anything Jurassic going on? I feel like there's some other stuff I forgot to mention in that intro. Probably, but video game content and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure. So we'll get into all that stuff in just a little bit. But before we do that, let's go ahead and say hi to everybody here in the chat. I didn't get a chance to share this around, so please go share this on your social media platforms. Give us a like. Hit that follow or like or subscribe, whatever it is, notification bell. Hit the bell so you know when I'm going live, because I don't ever know. And that means you might not know. But we are live, so let's start talking to who is here in the chat. We've got Steve here. What's up, Steve? How's it going? Good to see you back here. We've got DK in the chat. How you doing, DK? We've got Steven here. Hey, Steven. How you doing? We got Steve here with the red phone. I don't have a red phone for you. I could use this. Hello? Is this the Daily Planet? I got a popcorn tin there. Yeah, but Spino Rex, good evening. How you doing? But we are back, Steve. We're back. And it's been a bit, but glad to be back. Yeah, it's nice to be back here. DK, just want to shout out here for you here. This broadcast only talk about Jurassic Park or about Camp Cretaceous era? Yeah, it talks about everything. We talk about all the eras, everything. Jurassic Park, video games, TV shows, Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, all the Jurassic World movies. We'll talk about... I had a jump scare today about the motion comic. By the way, we talk about the motion comic. We talk about a lot of stuff here. So yeah, glad to have you here. And, go listen to the Jurassic Park podcast. That's the actual podcast. It's a little bit more professional than this. This is the live stream where it's just kind of off the cuff, talk about whatever the latest news is. But, yeah, there was some content about Jurassic Park Survival. I did get an email about that. I was away on vacation, so... I will pull that up. Yeah, I just forgot to mention that in the beginning. I knew there was some video game stuff between that and Evolution 3. So I know there was some Evolution 3 stuff as well. I just got a notification that the live stream's supposed to be happening, and it is. Let me see this. I know I got some information about Evolution 3. I don't know if it's all coming out yet. No, it doesn't look like it. So I can't really mention everything. But yeah, there has been a few things apparently that have come out. I haven't double checked, but that's something that's happening there. And let's see what else we got, because I know there was some other news about that I got. Oh yeah, here it is. JP Survival. Yeah, so all right. So I got everything there. But let's go ahead to our website. Let's see what we've been doing over on the podcast feed because Steven, see the new Jurassic New Birth? What are you talking about? You mean Rebirth? Yeah, I've seen that. I was actually watching a lot of the special features today because I had access to them finally. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to shout out to Phil. I wanted to go ahead and finally look at him. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't get it myself, so shout out to Phil. But let's go over to the website real quick and just see what's going on the web and over on the podcast feed itself. So finally, I'm so excited about this one. This episode was a lot of fun. And it was myself and Jennifer Evans with another Jurassic mailbag. Finally, the two of us got together, recorded another mailbag. It was like, what, 2 hours long? Something like that? An hour and 59 minutes? There we go. So basically an entire movie-length podcast episode for you there, talking all about Rebirth. We were talking about Camp Cretaceous, Chaos Theory, stuff like that, some video game stuff. I forget all the questions and comments that were in that, but please go listen to this episode. Go download it wherever you find your podcasts, Amazon Music, Podomatic, that's our host, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I know there's Pocket Cast, there's Overcast. That's the one that I use. It's a really good podcasting app. But yeah, go listen to the podcast over there. It was a lot of fun, really good episode. And we're going to try to do more mailbags coming up soon. So if you do want to be a part of the next mailbag, I put it here in the website. If you want to submit thoughts, questions, or comments for the next Jurassic mailbag, please give our voicemail line a call at 732-825-7763, or you can email us a voice memo or written message to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear and read your messages. There you go. There's a little radio announcer voice for you there. But please go ahead and call us for the Jurassic mailbag, and we'll talk about whatever the case may be, whatever it is, whatever comments or questions, or if you just want to say hi, I can't wait to hear what you have to say. We've already gotten a few for the next one, so get yours in quick because when the mailbag's like fully in full operation, there's so many messages that it's really hard to get to all of them. But go subscribe to the Substack as well. I've been thinking about some content for the Substack, so hopefully I can get that going pretty soon. But so let's talk about this. I wanted to dive into this first. So let's go ahead and dive into this comment here from Tyler. And it says, are you excited for the final season of Jurassic World Chaos Theory? I sure am. Yes, I am very excited to finally be diving back into like the official Jurassic World era. Rebirth still feels like I've watched all the like behind the scenes content and everything like that, all the special features, and watching the special features. I know it's a little tangent from your question, but watching the special features was exciting and it got me hyped for the movie, but I do think the movie feels like its own little tangent of a thing. So going back to the Jurassic World era, like the true Jurassic World era, and especially going to Jurassic World Dominion again. I know season 3, right, got a lot of the Dominion era in there as well. But it's nice to finally like have this all culminate in one final push here to the end. And here is the article that came out. And yes, we've got Mr. DNA. Got my Mr. DNA shirt on, you know. I was looking around because I keep all my shirts, my Jurassic shirts, like right here just in case, just to prepare for these live streams. And I was like, you know what? We're going to go with the Mr. DNA today. I feel like I usually don't wear this one, but it felt like a good fit for tonight. But let's go to the website here and or the website comicbook.com and check out some Chaos Theory news. So Jurassic World Chaos Theory is bigger than ever in an exclusive preview from comicbook.com. So they had a quick little interview here and a new picture. And not a ton of information or anything here, but we do have, I got distracted from that. But this new picture here, right here. Check that out. Fall preview 2025. This is the exclusive fall preview. And I do think it said first image or something like that somewhere in this article or somewhere in the post or something. But it's not the first image. We have seen other images from this season. But this is the first image featuring Yaz and Sammy and Brooklyn with some embers flying down. But yes, we are in the Biosyn Valley, it would seem, with the characters, at least 3 of them here together. Last we saw, Yaz and Brooklyn were off in Malta, I believe, and Sammy and Kenji, I believe, were in Italy, traveling through there and going to the Dolomites here and discovering Biosyn Valley. And they're together now, which is, it's such a great sight to see the 2 of them together. I love these 2 characters. I really hope they find a way to work things out. I don't know that they will. You know, in the case of life, it's not always like things don't always work out for the best. Or maybe they do. Maybe what is working for the best is having these characters not be together anymore. You know, I think it would have been great if they could have stayed together, but if that's the best thing for them, then so be it. But here they are, at least standing together with Brooklyn there in the background. And we have to assume that this is, post locusts going into the sky and lighting everything up in the valley there, and all the dinosaurs retreating to that, I guess, that one kind of area there in the center of the compound, I guess. It was a very confusing, like, I feel like the escape plan for the dinosaurs was faulty at best, because that like circular area or whatever it was that the Therizinosaurus and the Giga and the T-Rex had their battle in Dominion, that whole they were all kind of like congregating there, right? They all had the chip in them, which was kind of established in this show or in the other show, Camp Cretaceous, and the chip was leading them, controlling them to go to this central location. That area always felt very small to me, and I wasn't really sure how all of those dinosaurs that are in the Biosyn Valley were supposed to retreat to that area. That felt kind of wild. But I assume this is right around that time period here, where, some of the crew are in the truck as they're, they just escaped the amber mines, and Malcolm's driving. They tip over that truck. Some of the characters, like Claire and, them are escaping through the valley, and they go up into that tower. And so I feel like this is all centered around that area. I'm very excited to see all this stuff culminate here. And I don't know. I mean, I wonder if we'll see characters connect, and I really hope so. Let's see what the comments say about this article real quick, because what's coming in Jurassic World Chaos Theory Season 4? Scott Kramer, I believe here. Yeah, Kramer had teased that I couldn't be more excited for people to see our most ambitious season yet. And he says that bigger dinosaurs, bigger set pieces, and bigger stakes as our beloved Nublar 6 struggle to come together and heal old wounds. If they hope struggle to come together and heal old wounds, if they hope to, or hope. Wait, what am I saying? I don't know why I'm saying hope. No, it does say hope. If they hold any hope of surviving, not everyone is getting out unscathed. I don't think I got out unscathed from that sentence. So, thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. But who has ADHD or high IQ? I don't know. That's also a good question. Thanks, website. But who is going to be coming out unscathed, or who's not going to be coming out here with all their limbs or their faculties attached. Is somebody going to be dying in this season? So I don't know. That was really all that it really had said. Season 4 will be launching November 20th. But there was also, actually, you know what? I think since we're here, I'll pull it up. But I believe Outpost had posted it. Instagram. Bear with me for a second here while I pull it up. But I have not really been posting much of anything, so I didn't get around to posting about it or doing anything. But yeah, they have the thing here. But let's go back to the page. Chaos Theory, the final season. This is going to be at New York Comic Con, October 9th through 12th. Which day is it? The 11th. So 6:30 to 7:30 p.m., room 405. And it says, join executive producer Scott Kramer along with the series cast, including Sean Gambroni, Kirsten Kelly, Kauser Mohammed, Rainey Rodriguez, and Paul McKell-Williams, as they offer an exclusive first look inside the final season of DreamWorks Animation, Universal Pictures, and Amblin Entertainment's hit Netflix series Jurassic World Chaos Theory. So, New York Comic Con, the final season is going to be having a panel. I wish we had known about this a little bit earlier. And DreamWorks, Scott, cast, if you need a moderator, a host for the panel, let me introduce you to myself. Allow myself to introduce myself. I am Brad Jost. I host a podcast all about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and Chaos Theory and Camp Cretaceous, all of those things. And guess what? I've talked to some of these people before. I've talked to Scott, Rainey, and Paul. And I know Tom has talked with Sean and Kirsten. Kauser, I think, is the only one who might not have been on the podcast. So, you know what? It's about time. DreamWorks, let's make it happen. You need a moderator for this panel. And guess what? I live right next door to New York City. I can hop over there anytime. Especially on October 11th, I could be there. I could be right there if you need me. Call your boy. Pick up that red phone. Anyway, I'm excited for this panel to see what happens. Again, I wish that we kind of knew about this a little bit earlier, because it would have been nice to be able to go to this. I think it's already sold out, if I remember correctly. But tickets are available on the secondary market. They're a bit pricey. So yeah, I don't know, but I would love to be able to see this. So we'll see. We'll see if I can make it happen. I did message Scott and said, I'd love to be there, man. Hopefully I can get a chance to get a ticket or find something. So we'll try our best. But that's right around the corner, October 11th, and the season coming to a close. Oops, that's spoilers for the next one. But yeah, coming to a close in November 20th. Whew. This is it's going to be an interesting time, because I feel like with Camp Cretaceous, right? With Camp Cretaceous, we kind of could foresee that there would be more, more story to tell. With Chaos Theory, they came in and did that. They had time to match up pre-Dominion, during Dominion. So they had a lot of time to explore in that period. And, I'm concerned that, we might not see another season or not another season, but I guess another series. It's possible. I would love it, and I think Scott and crew are the people to answer and connect those dots that we would love to have connected between the actual World Series and Rebirth, with some of those plot inconsistencies and things like that. So I think that would be the ultimate place to do so, but it feels less possible than it did before. So here's hoping. I think the opportunity is there, but will it be possible with them moving on to this new era? Is this an opportunity for them to start fresh and a new show with new characters and new people, new tone? Maybe. I think there's certainly stories to tell surrounding Il St. Hubert, however you say that, Il St. Hubert, I don't know how to say it. I got to listen to it again. I heard somebody say it in the the behind the scenes stuff today, and I was like, I got to remember that. I should remember that, and I didn't remember it, so there we go. But I think there's stories to tell if they wanted to. Scott, call me up. Here's the phone right here. Boom, red phone. Call me up, because I got great ideas for this next season, series, whatever you want to do. You could really start a new series centered around people working on this new Rebirth Island. Il St. Hubert. Il St. Hubert. I don't know how to say it. You could have, some of those people that we saw in the intro to Rebirth. Follow them for a little bit pre-breakout of the Distortus or whatever happened there. Pre-Snickers. And then follow one or two of those characters home. We get to see them at home, mourning over the loss of their coworker. And we get to see something of value maybe left on the island. Something simple. Not world-ending, not world-changing. Honestly, like something with emotional value, emotional stakes, a necklace, a ring, something simple that was left behind that is impossible to get without some sort of infiltration of the island. And I think that could be a fun story to see, is one of those, employees from InGen or whoever. Yeah, I guess. I mean, whoever was there at whatever year that was, whenever, whoever. Connect those dots for us, Scott, and let us know who, what, where, when, how does all of this connect, while also telling this emotional story of trying to get from point A to point B, picking up something and leaving. Simple story. I think it could work. One and done. There you go. Call me. Actually, you don't need to call me. You just did. That was me on the phone with you right now, obviously. Call me up. But, yeah. So, anyway, just gave you some free material there, DreamWorks. There you go. You heard it here first. That's what's the next series is going to be. But that is the news there for Chaos Theory Season 4, the final season again. The final season. This is our official confirmation. We had a novel or something like that said, I think it had said like a long time ago, like the final season, and we weren't really sure. It changed the information, so it seemed like it maybe wasn't the final season. We weren't really sure what was going on there. And then all the press releases and information that came out about Season 4 never really said anything about the final season until now. Until now, we finally know with this Comic-Con panel that's going to be happening. We know it is the end of Jurassic World Chaos Theory. So, bummed, sad. I love these characters. I hope we get to see them again. I love my idea that I just pitched to you. But also, if you skip that or do that at some other point, tell that in some other way. Universal, Amblin, DreamWorks, whoever, call me up. Well, I'll help out. We'll get all the we'll cross the T's. I almost said cross the I's, dot the T's, however you spell. I don't know. But maybe that's not the best pitch for helping out. I don't know. My T's for my I's, but cross them, dot them. And we'll get that canon figured out. But if you want to do that, you can do that. But I would still love to see the return of the Camp Fam in some way. But since that was the end of the news there, let's talk a little bit about the unscathed portion, right? So not everyone is getting out unscathed. And they have to heal those old wounds if they have any hope of surviving. So the old wounds, what do we got? We got these two who obviously have, had a relationship, and they have to heal those old wounds because they left on a pretty sour note with each other. It was upsetting and sad, but I wouldn't say it was like dramatic and horrible for the two of them. So, the opportunity there for them to reconnect is still around. If they don't do that, that's, fine too. But they have to heal those old wounds. Everybody still, has not really had a lot of time to sit with Brooklyn and heal those wounds. So everybody really now has to sit and deal with that to some extent. Hopefully the flight from Malta to Italy will help heal some of those old wounds. Kenji's got a lot of old wounds. I feel like he needs healing. But for me, if there's somebody that's not going to come out unscathed, there was a book too, if I remember correctly. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. Blues. Let's go to Blue Sky if I can. Bear with me for a second as I try to find a post or something like that. Let's search for... All right, here we go. Cretaceous Campcast, good friend of the show. Let's see here. Let's go back to Chaos Theory. And they had posted, and Muzamil as well. Thanks, both of y'all. Dave and Muzamil here helping out. Chaos Theory Volume 4, the junior novelization. This is coming out January 6th for $7.99 in paperback. And let's see what the synopsis here has said. But it says, this action-packed junior novelization is based on the climactic 4th season of the exciting animated series Jurassic World Chaos Theory. Darius and the rest of the Nublar 6 make their final push to finally put a stop, too many finallys there, put a stop to their enemies and save the dinosaurs from illegal trafficking and experiments. But their foes are far more dangerous than any dinosaur they've encountered. See, it's not always me. Look, I know we don't always get the reading right. Look, it's obvious. But sometimes the writing is wrong, okay? So let's go back to that because, but their foes are far more dangerous than any dinosaur they've encountered. That doesn't make any sense. And not all the friends are going to make it to safety. Find out what happens in this junior novelization. So not all of the friends are going to make it to safety. Somebody's going to be unscathed. Not all the friends are going to make it to safety. It's not a great synopsis. It's not well written at all, and a little confusing there, but they're not all going to make it to safety. So not all of the friends there are going to make it out of Biosyn Valley. Will somebody be left behind? Will somebody die? That's pretty brutal. Like Alan, Ellie, Ian, Dr. Wu, Owen, Claire, Maisie. All of them. That's 7 people. I think that was it. And DeWanda. Why did I say her real name? Kayla Watts. And Ramsey. That's 9 people that got on a helicopter and made it out safely. 9 people that were tracked by Therizinosaurus, Giga, T-Rex, Velociraptor, Dilophosaurs, and they made it out unscathed. 9 people made it out safely. So our camp fam, the younger crew, might see a little bit more danger than the film crew. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there. Will they finally not pull their punches anymore, and will they? And not, I don't say that in a bad way or anything, because I think they did a really great job of teasing that Brooklyn was dead. That was official. She was dead and gone. But of course she wasn't. But she didn't make it out unscathed, right? She lost a limb. So she quite literally did not make it out unscathed. So will the same kind of thing happen here? Will she lose the other arm? Will somebody else lose an arm? Will somebody else lose a leg, a head, whatever the case may be? Will somebody find grave danger here or injury? What's going to happen? It doesn't sound like it's going to be good for the camp fam. Are they just hyping us up for danger, but like not fatal? I think there's the opportunity for a fatality within the crew. I feel like out of all of the camp fam, my rankings would go at number 1. Let's start with number one. The most likely to be eaten. Let's start with the most likely to be eaten. You know what? I want to do like an inverse of. Oh, I don't have a secondary page here. That's weird. Yeah, I was gonna try to make myself bigger here, but why? I guess I got rid of those. Okay. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah. So number 1, I would say the most likely candidate to not make it out alive for me would be Kenji. Kenji's number 1 for me to die. Then I would say Yaz. I think Yaz number 2. Or maybe not. Maybe Brooklyn. Let's go with Brooklyn. Because that would flip the script, right? And we thought, okay, they didn't kill her off. She's fine. She went through enough drama. But maybe she sacrifices herself for the rest of the crew. That'd be intense. I could see it happening. So I'm going to go Kenji, Brooklyn, Yaz. Then we've got... I'll put Sammy in there, too, because Yaz and Sammy, they could sacrifice for each other. I'll put Ben in there. He's pretty low. I feel like the gap between Sammy and Ben is pretty big. It's a pretty big gap. So I would say Ben won't be sacrificing himself at all. He's got a girlfriend. Like, he's got a lot to look forward to. I don't think he's going to be dying. And Darius, he's safe. What if they just flip it completely and Darius is the one that gets killed off here? That would be horrible. That would be so horrible. I feel like while they're all main characters, Darius is the lead, and that would be traumatic for this kid's show. Any of them would be traumatic, I think. But I think he would be the most traumatic. It's always been his story, his shows. So Darius is at the very bottom of the list for me. I don't think I missed anybody. So that's the rankings there, I'd say, for Chaos Theory deaths for the camp fam. But maybe Bumpy, dude. Oof. Maybe Bumpy comes in. It's part of the friend group, right? Does Bumpy Oh, that would be horrifying. If Bumpy sacrifices herself, it's not happening. It's not happening, right? Bumpy's got to live out her life. I know they introduced a new baby, Smoothie. I had to think about it for a second. But I don't know. I don't see that happening. Yeah, I don't know. But I think this season could be a lot of fun. It could be, it could be really great to see a lot of these interacted scenes with the film. hopefully crossing paths with the film crew. That would be nice. But we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that is our little conversation on Chaos Theory Season 4. I want to go over, I probably should have put this first, but let's go over to some Rebirth discussion real quick. Take a look at that box office, because it is now at, as of this recording, let's see if it updated. I don't think it would have, but as of this recording right now, the worldwide box office from the numbers is 832 million. Yeah, so there you go. That's the number. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I kind of expected it to top out at 700 or so million. But yeah, go back and listen. I think for the most part, I was like, I don't really see this going more than like 700. And it did a little bit, I give myself some credit here for kind of predicting within range. It's probably close to wrapping up here, right? I think it's going to be close to wrapping up. When, I forget when does the 4K releases on September 9th, so that's soon. That's very, very soon. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to actually pick that up on 4K, and then be able to have all the digital stuff as well. I'm always really tempted with the digital copies that are out now that were released on August 5th. And that's great, but I wish like I could get the digital copy that, like, if I pre-ordered like the DVD or something like that, I wish I could also grab the digital copy on August 5th, like from that bundle, because the DVD comes with the digital copy. I don't want to buy the digital copy and then also get another one. I know I could like sell it or whatever, but it's just a pain in the butt. I don't want to have to do that. But September 9th for the physical 4K. So I feel like it's probably ramping down here. Let's take a look at the box office a little bit and just see what some of those numbers actually are as we get towards the bottom here. So August 19th, yesterday, brought in $445,000. 282 the day before that. 1 million over the weekend on Saturday. And so it's, it's still chugging along a little bit, not really making a ton of money, but it's still earning. Still adding to that total. Obviously, it just recently opened up in Japan. The other day they did not have the numbers on here, but it looks like they might now. It's made 20 million so far in Japan. I don't know why it doesn't have like the opening weekend information or anything like that. 384 maximum screens, and that total box office of 20 million so far. 20 millions. But there you go. So I believe Dominion or Fallen Kingdom, one of them had made like 47 million over the run in Japan. So there's a chance for another 20 million or so, but we'll see. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out there. Yeah, so that is what we're looking at. So we could be around that 850 mark. So, 850, 870, something like that. I think that's pretty good. I don't think it'll reach 900 million. But it could maybe if they do an IMAX release or something like that, maybe we could hit that 900. But I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see there. But that is the box office for Jurassic World Rebirth. Let's go ahead and, I wish we could let's take a break. Because I don't have all the information popped up for all the other things. I wish I could copy and paste from here to there. let's see. What channel is this on? Jurassic Park Survival. Let's take a look at the Jurassic Park Survival YouTube. Let's go over there real quick because I do want to check that out.
Island was the research facility.
Don't mind the audio. Sorry about that if that's actually playing through. All right, so here we go. Let's pull this up. Let me pause that for a second, and I'll grab my headphones so I can listen as well. DK, I just want to answer this before we go forward. Let's see. DK says, the fact that I watched my first favorite cartoon series when I was a child and now I'm a teenager, and I lived with this series for 5 years, and then it ended, then in the end it ends a painful but predictable. But if the ending is sad and he loses a main character in it, it will be a very painful ending. Yeah, absolutely. I think that would be pretty rough. So like, in the long run, I don't necessarily feel like they're going to kill somebody off, I feel like, but if they do, if somebody does die, that's my predictions at least. But who knows if we actually get there. We'll have to wait and see. But, yeah, I forgot to do this before. Let me see something. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up that video. Duck down the audio here for a second. That's mine. That's the wrong one. All right, and let's go over to... I don't have a button for it, but I think I have one. Jurassic Gaming. Boom. Let's take a look at some Jurassic Gaming content. Yes. Play through.
The opportunity to re-enter into Jurassic Park is something we've waited over 30 years to be able to do.
We've heard consistently from
pre-rendered footage.
We're very interested in seeing a game set in Jurassic Park.
Look at that.
We were able to make that happen.
Heck yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait. Jurassic Park Survival opening the gates. Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park Survival is a first-person game. It's set a day after the events of the film. You play as Maya Joshi, who is an engine scientist, and
Heck yes.
it's your job to survive the island.
For the first time, we're giving you this opportunity to travel back to Isla Nublar, to
Loving
explore Jurassic Park.
Pre-alpha footage
Taking on
here.
a project like this is a huge responsibility. This film stands out as a landmark moment in cinema.
It's really
Thank you,
exciting
Jurassic
to
Park.
be
We
able
love
to
it.
Translate this incredible film into a video game because you really
Look at
have
that
the
room.
opportunity to go much
Oh,
deeper
this is so
into
nice.
The film. We've worked really closely with our
Nice
partners
jacket.
and with Amblin
Love
and
it.
our filmmakers to make sure that we're capturing the island and all
Be-do-do.
the dinosaurs in really great detail.
We go through room by room in the game.
What's up,
level
Kenneth?
By level. We look at every possible
How you
resource
doing?
from archives, from the film, from production stills.
Look at those
from
pictures.
Blueprints to make sure
Oh.
every prop is in the same place.
We really took an up-close look at some of the props from the film. We went to the actual incubator, saw the eggs.
Look at
just
this.
That level of
Ooh.
authenticity was just amazing, and it really brought the teams together.
Thanks, Kenneth. Appreciate it. When dinosaurs ruled the earth.
We thought Saber would be the right developer for this project, again, because of their affinity for the IP. They've really leaned into creating fantastic-looking, beautifully rendered dinosaur
Does look
models
fantastic.
and animations
Loving
that
it.
will look great in the game.
We were inspired by the original film. All the encounters are going to be amazing. The interactions with the dinosaurs, to see them on the big screen, and it's something else when you can actually take part
Heck yeah,
and
dude.
interact with them in a meaningful
Dude,
way.
look at that skeleton. Oh,
One
so
thing that
good.
is extremely important to get right is the dinosaurs. They are the star of this franchise. The textures, the movements, the weight of the dinosaurs on the earth, that will all feel like
Whew,
the
those are some
dinosaurs
big
that you
footsteps.
know and love from the first film. I think that's what players really want. They want to be put in the driver's seat of a dinosaur
Yes.
encounter and have to survive it.
Can't wait and come face to face with the T-Rex. I'm going to purposely lose so that I can get eaten by a T-Rex.
It looks brutal. Love that. Exploring Isla Nublar.
Not only do you get to
Yes,
re-experience
dude.
all of the incredible
Woo.
locations from the film,
Whew.
but because Jurassic Park Survival
Howdy.
is designed in game format, gives you more time to be able to explore.
You need a
new
Mr.
locations.
DNA voice.
There's lots of facilities, there's lots of buildings, there's lots of attractions that are under construction. There's a hotel under construction.
Dude,
So
look at
fans
that.
Are going to see things and landmarks that they only wish they saw. Some elements from the game, some elements of the film that were talked about, but never actually conceived in the film.
Can't wait to explore
So as
some
a single-player,
vents.
narrative-driven experience.
For real?
Jurassic Park needs both strong story and strong gameplay.
There's an interactive component that makes games unique from film.
It's going to feel like new but familiar at the same time, and then
Okay.
you'll be part of that tension and part of that drama and part of that
Can't
awe and
wait.
wonder that Jurassic really is for fans. But you'll be front and center for everything.
When we were deciding how to introduce the raptors, one thing that jumped out
You got to
us
explain
was,
it, right?
What if we could make the player experience what Lex and Tim did in the kitchen?
Love that
and other
idea.
Sequences like it are meant to put you in the shoes of those movie characters to experience the terror for yourself.
That'll be the third sequence in that same location. I'm fine with it.
So every one of the characters in that film is indelible, and this is the bar that we're shooting for. These characters need to be as specific, distinct, colorful as the characters in the film. And Maya is the biggest example of this.
The actual journey, the arc of Maya, it's incredible. She was personally
I love
recruited
that we
by
have an
Dr.
actual
Henry
Maya. That's so
to
cool.
become an InGen scientist to work at the park.
Bring her to
At the
live
start
action
of
film. Come on,
Maya's
do it.
journey, she's unable to escape Isla Nublar. Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nublar.
As soon as Pyle read for the part, we knew she was going to be our Maya.
I really relate to Maya in lots of different ways. She's incredibly passionate and adventurous. I think she takes risks. She steps outside of her comfort zone. I feel like I'm
Love
learning
it.
a lot about myself, to be honest. She's very inspiring, and she has a lot of admirable traits. I think that I'm standing on the shoulders of some of the coolest female characters in cinema history. It's incredible.
Heck yeah.
I really hope that when fans play this game, they get to relive the magic they experienced from the original film.
All of us on the team are extremely passionate about this film. We all have our own childhood memories of it, and so we've come to it with the greatest respect.
But it is everything, so we are taking the time to do it justice.
Fans are core.
He
to
sounded
this
like Colin. I
franchise.
wasn't looking
It's
for a
because of their
second.
passion that we get these great opportunities to create new stories. Without them, there wouldn't be a Jurassic Park Survival.
Yeah, you know it. That's absolutely right. Jurassic Park Survival. There it is. So let me just check my email here because I want to make sure I don't like read anything I shouldn't or anything like that. So yeah, it just says don't discuss this until the embargo, which had lifted already. With Jurassic Park Survival, it won't. So somebody at Steve had said we were hoping for a trailer yesterday at Gamescom. No, they weren't planning on being there. So they wanted to share this, get this out ahead of Gamescom. But yeah, so I'm not sure where they may have released any of this information, but there is some information here. It says explore Isla Nublar, venture through a fully realized Isla Nublar filled with reactive wildlife, dinosaurs, and other surprising threats. From the iconic towering park gates to the visitor center and beyond, Jurassic Park comes alive like never before. You can evade prehistoric predators, outsmart, escape, and engage with the film's iconic dinosaurs, use distraction, stealth, and ingenuity to overcome intense and unforgettable encounters against some of the deadliest creatures to ever walk the earth. Survive the island. Players will be challenged to navigate the park's many varied locations and dangers. Use all of the resources at your disposal and find intelligent solutions to endure the wide range of threats lurking on Isla Nublar. So, yeah, so it says you'll take you back to the original Jurassic Park to explore firsthand. It says they worked, meticulously with NBC Universal to recreate many wonders and dangers of Isla Nublar down to the finest details. So, visiting most iconic locations as well as discovering new landmarks and surprises never seen before. So that's exciting for me. I hope that we, there was a shot here. Let me see if I can go back to it. Let me bring this music back up. But can I mute this real quick? Sorry, there we go. But there was a shot here somewhere. I don't know if I can find it or not. Yeah, I guess it was like, let's just say this shot. I don't think this was the shot I was looking for, but right here you see this path, right? I hope we can explore off of this path, right? And we don't get caught too much in jungle, walls, basically. So a lot of video games will be like, look at that huge jungle. Or sorry, but you can't go in it. You won't be able to go there. But, you can go right up to the leaves, and somehow the leaves are too much for you to penetrate there. So I hope that, some areas I would be perfectly fine with, like, you can't really go there. But I would love so much exploration. Like, let me go down that little path there. Let me check out what's going on in these jungle areas. I really hope we get that. So I believe it was Machine Games. Machine Games did the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle video game. And that game was really surprising with the amount of exploration that they allowed for. I couldn't believe it. Sometimes you're able to go basically wherever you want. There were a lot of like jungle places where little islands and things that you weren't always able to get up on and explore, but for the most part, you could explore basically whatever you wanted. Kenneth, I don't know what's going on here, but you gotta quit it for the time being, all right? But I hope we get the chance to explore a lot of this island and just see things. And I know that's what they're saying, but like I hope it's not just like a tour through certain paths. And you can't really explore off of those beaten paths. I would like to go outside of that area, like Indiana Jones. Like there's like a jungle area in the Indiana Jones video game where you can take a boat and just go wherever, really. Pretty much go wherever you want and kind of just jump off and, hey, you want to explore that island? Okay, sure. You want to go to this one? You want to go over there, over here? There's a lot of areas to explore in that game. And that's just like one of the locations out of like 6 locations, plus more now with the DLC coming out. So this game has a lot to live up to with, iconic franchise like Indiana Jones getting such a great video game. And Star Wars Outlaws, I got to admit, that game was maybe even more explorable. I think, to the most part, I think that game was like one of the most explorable games I've ever played. It was massive, huge. Like, I honestly don't know how they made that video game so big. You can explore endlessly, pretty much, on like multiple planets. It's wild how big of an area they give you to explore on these planets. So hopefully something along those lines as well, like just a lot of room to explore. Because those two games, I think, Outlaws, Star Wars Outlaws has, it has its faults, but I do think it's a really great video game. The story was a lot of fun. I actually just wrapped it up, and I had a lot of fun with that one. It actually, like, the reviews weren't very good for that one, but I think they undersold it, and I think it actually is pretty great. So hopefully it's it's like more explorable than, than I'm thinking it's going to be. I really hope it's not super linear. Hopefully they give us, much more to work with there, because we do want to see all those locations. We do want to kind of just cut through the jungle and find a path to a hotel or a bungalow, like Hammond's bungalow or something. I want to be able to walk through random places and stumble upon Nedry's Jeep and maybe find the Barbasol can. And, I want to be able to do stuff like that and see a lot of different locations, like, come to life fully. I think that would be really awesome. Jurassic Park Workers Union says, hope it's open world. Yeah, they don't say necessarily open world. I don't know if what they said exactly about it in the video. I don't know. I don't think they said open world in the video, but the email, that I did receive about it said, down to the finest details and a fully realized Isla Nublar with reactive wildlife. I mean, that to me sounds like very interesting. And pretty much it says all the locations, right? Plus more locations. So to me, that does sound like a good opportunity for fairly open world. So let's hope we get there. And yeah, DLC would be nice. And yeah, Outlaws was a ton of fun. Like, I don't think I wasn't fully hooked on some of the different gameplay. Like, there's a lot of gameplay in that you can go down so many different rabbit holes of like how you want to actually play this video game, Star Wars Outlaws. You can gamble the whole time. You can, do all this syndicate work if you really want to. You don't have to really do much of it at all if you don't really want to. There's so many threads and so many, like, just things you can do that it almost is too much, I think, in Star Wars Outlaws. It's not as, like, it's not as focused as, like, Indiana Jones was in that way. So I kind of think it was a little overloaded, but it gave you the opportunity. If you really want to go all out, you can. I did 100% on Indiana Jones, so I was fully invested in doing absolutely everything there, but it was at least to an obtainable amount, Star Wars is like, I don't even know how you would even begin to obtain everything and do everything in that game. So hopefully this is kind of like in that in-between area, like giving us a lot of good stuff that we want to do. I'm very excited for it. Hopefully we get a lot of that. You got addicted to the card game. I thought it was a little bit of fun. I played a few rounds and then I got kind of sick of it and I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. And I didn't get the I forget the wild card, or what was the name of the DLC with Lando, something like that. Yeah, wild card, I guess. I didn't do that one, but I am considering doing the Hondo Anaka one. Yes, Hondo Anaka with Anaka Transport Solutions. I'd like to do that one. That one could be a little bit of fun. But a lot of people are like saying that the game was just not fun or whatever and not good. And I just don't understand that, because it was a lot of fun and really like interesting to play and a really good Star Wars story, I thought. So hopefully we get that with Jurassic. I'm very excited. And so what should we talk about next? Is there anything else? Let's talk a little bit about Rebirth and the behind the scenes and all that stuff. Let's see if I can bring that up. We're going to go over to Forbes. Forbes apparently has a list here. So, the bonus features for Jurassic World Rebirth are out there. I'm sure, a lot of you may have seen them, may have not seen them. I don't really know. But I had a chance to watch through all of them except for the 2 commentaries that are on there. I didn't listen to those yet. Hopefully I will pretty soon. But I watched everything else, and I gotta say it was pretty good. Pretty good. I was actually happy with it, I think, for the most part. I'm not usually super happy with a lot of behind the scenes featurettes and stuff like that. They were okay. You know, they weren't like exceptional or anything like that. I would have loved a longer, hour-long, 45-minute long or something like that look. A lot of movies, you know, of this caliber, like with Star Wars or Indiana Jones or something like that, will have these like longer featurettes that are like 45 minutes or an hour or something like that. I would have really liked something like that. But instead they gave us a bunch. What they could have done was just edit these all together into one, and it would have been that. So instead, they're just a bunch of, you know, unique individual sequences. The alternate opening is unnecessary, and it doesn't really add much of value, I think, to the movie itself. The alternate opening, if you don't really know, it's like a big machine rig that's like clearing the jungle, and it's just kind of like mowing through the jungle and clearing space for more facilities, more paddocks, whatever the case may be. Basically starts off the same way with the monkeys and all that, and instead of the helicopter just roaring towards the camera, instead of that, it cuts to like this machinery operating in the jungle with some people walking through the jungle, and then the helicopter comes in and, you know, does what it does in the movie. And a lot of these like alternate scenes and stuff like that, they're completely unfinished. Which, you know, it's fairly standard, I guess, for a lot of behind the scenes stuff or deleted scenes. I wish there was a little bit more finished work in these deleted scenes. You know, in the old days, I feel like you would have gotten a lot more finished stuff, like the boardroom scene or the cafe scene or whatever in The Lost World, like actual like finished product basically that is now on television all the time. But these were like completely unfinished scenes. So that opening was just like super raw. The deleted scenes here for the Raptors, the Raptor one, I don't love it. I gotta say, I didn't really like the Raptor one. Again, very unfinished. You actually see a dude just standing there in like a Raptor suit, basically, or not even, but like holding like a head. And you actually like do see some, you know, partially rendered like velociraptors there. They don't really look all that good or anything, but it didn't really add anything of value, and I don't think it really would have added much to the movie. I think there was a way to do that sequence with the Raptors in an interesting way, but they really didn't do it. Instead, I will say the Mutodon attack deleted scene was pretty phenomenal. I had a great time with that. I actually was like, dude, this needed to be in the movie. The Mutodon sequence expanding the convenience store scene was actually pretty fantastic. I'm actually kind of mad that that's not in the movie. Like, it's actually really good. There's a whole phone sequence where Scarlett's trying to call out, and people are like hiding, and it's actually full of tension. Slow tension, by the way. Not like, it's very rushed once the actual scene happens, the Mutodon attack on the convenience store. Everything's very fast-paced and rushed. But the deleted sequence is very slowly paced and much more thrilling and scary. So I would have really loved to have seen that but in addition to what we got with the convenience store scene. So there's that. What else we got? We've got The World Evolves. Journey into Reimagined Jurassic World with Scarlett, Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali, and the rest. Yeah, so that was a good one. I forget really. These ones are some of them kind of blended together. That was good. The Off the Deep End was fine. The ocean sequences, I kind of dug that one actually. There was some nice slower moments, kind of just covering the boats and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty good. Trekking through Thailand was fun. Rex in the Rapids, Don't Look Down, the Ket sequence. Ket sequence was good because they showed a lot about making that wall and stuff, so I thought that was pretty fun. Mini Mart Mayhem, getting to see all that stuff. The gag reel, I actually enjoyed the gag reel this time around. Usually movies are pretty terrible with their gag reels. This one was short. It was pretty short, but it was actually fairly fun. So I was happy about that. Meet Dolores was really fantastic. I actually loved that. That was so incredible to see this animatronic that I don't think is used at all in the movie. I think they just painted over it with CG for the most of the scenes there, if not all of them. But seeing the animatronic and all the work that went into that was really, really cool. I really dug that. And the fact that the cast members? Not the cast members. I'm kind of confusing Disney parks and things like that. The people behind the scenes were actually treating this like a real creature and interacting with people in a very interesting way. I thought that was pretty great. Munched becoming dino food was a fantastic sequence. Watching the characters all talk about dying at the hands of dinosaurs. I think that was pretty fantastic. A Day at Skywalker Sound was actually really great. This was with Audrina Miranda, the little girl from the film. She went to Skywalker Sound and just toured around and actually worked hand in hand with these people to come up with sounds and to show everybody how things are made. And it looked like a really interesting and fun experience for her. So I'm so happy for her that she got to do that. But that was pretty good insight into how this stuff is made. So I really liked that. And the Easter egg sequence was all right. It could have went a little bit deeper. There was maybe one or two things that I was okay, there's maybe 3 or 4 maybe that I was okay, that's cool. A lot of Jaws homages and stuff like that. So there was some interesting stuff in there, but I think they could have went a lot deeper. For instance, in the convenience store, the person, the set decorator or whoever it was, showing off the Easter eggs in there, rolled around this postcard thing, holding different postcards, and picked up a Jaws one, but never picked up the one that is the iconic jungle background from Jurassic Park, and never showed that one off. I wanted to see these details in more depth, but she kind of just skimmed over that one and thought we'd be more interested in the Jaws one. And I was no, show the Jurassic Park background. That one's way more interesting. So we didn't really get to see too much from this one, but a lot of them you've already seen in the movie itself. But I think that was about it. There might have been something else, but I feel like there was something else after that. Let's see something real quick. I know there was the 2 commentaries that are actually on there. Both of them feature Gareth Edwards, but with different guests. So I'm very interested. Oh, the other thing was just a trailer. They had the trailer on there. But the commentaries, it says, one of them is with Gareth Edwards and production designer James Klein and first assistant director Jack Ravenscroft. And then the other one also features Gareth Edwards, along with editor Jabez Olsen and visual effects supervisor David Vickery. So interested in hearing what those are about. I'm sure a lot of you have probably, gotten all the details, but since I was away, I didn't really look into too much. So I'm interested to kind of hear that stuff and see what they talk about. There was I would say that there was really no clearing up of a lot of things. So maybe the commentary will do that for me, but there was really no clearing up of a lot of those inconsistent details for me. about the Mosasaurus, about the island timeline, about Jurassic Park, about Jurassic World. They did comment a lot about Jurassic Park and the original park and stuff still. So I'm looking for more commentary on that. I don't know that I'm going to get it, but hopefully. Alden, you didn't really like the Rebirth cats? Its beak looked like a toucan. I call it the toucan coatlas. I actually really loved it. I think, out of the dinosaurs that were shown off here, the T-Rex looks fantastic. The cats, I think I like this design, I think, way more than the Dominion one. And sound design and the look of it, it looks so nasty and so cool. The Dominion one is fantastic as well. I really, really like that design, but I think I like the Rebirth design more. I hate that they're two different designs, gotta say. But the Titanosaur, fantastic design, like incredible looking and sounding mostly. So to me, I'm all for that sound. It sounds so good and alien. So I really like the new designs a lot. And the Mosasaur, I love the new design. It looks fantastic. I don't know why it looks that way. And I need an actual answer. Matthew, what's going on? Any thoughts on what the sequel to Jurassic World Rebirth will be like? I don't know. I have, let me see if I can bring it up real quick here. I believe I was included. Oh, that's not what I was looking for. That's funny. Open in a new tab. All right, so I think I was on this episode. I think I was on this episode of Road to Rebirth. But the final episode with nearly everyone, it says nearly everyone. So I don't know if I made the cut, but I did send in something to Roland because he had asked me to. I was on an episode a little while back. What the heck was that one? Yeah, there it was. From June 11th. But on this latest one, I think, he had asked me and he was going to include them. And it was about, like, what do you hope to see in the future from this movie? And I think, without spoiling it too much, it wasn't really a long recording or anything. But yeah, I did have some comments about that. You have to go listen to it. But I think I would like to see just kind of individual stories told from here on out that are like, let's bring in Scarlett for one movie. Let's bring in Jonathan Bailey. Let's bring in Mahershala Ali. I want to see all these people again at some point, but I don't need a full squad every time. I'm kind of sick of that for the moment. So I'd like different people to kind of fluctuate in and out of this series, giving us more characters, That's what made the original three so great, was they gave us these, these characters that were really iconic, like a Nick Van Owen or Paul Kirby or something, I don't know why I said that. That's not iconic. It's Paul Kirby. But you know what I mean, like iconic characters. But I would love for them to do stuff like that, to give us one of them and then say, here's a whole ensemble around that person. Here's Jonathan Bailey. Here's a whole ensemble around that person. Have Dr. Grant make a cameo in Jonathan Bailey movie, because there was a detail that I actually had never noticed before that was in that Easter egg thing. I'll leave it to you to find for now because it is still kind of fresh, but there is an Easter egg directly tying, and outside of the fact that they're like, yeah, I used to work for Dr. Alan Grant, I used to dig with him or whatever he says. There is a nice touch directly tied, and I think that's pretty cool. So check out the Easter eggs, special feature there. But I think what it would be like or about, I don't know. I think it would be, I guess I was on it. Thanks, Steve, for confirming that. But what would it be like? I don't know. I think they're just going to get weirder and weirder with it, I think, over time. So I hope they do. I hope they take those risks and go weird, even though people are like, I don't like locusts, I don't like mutants. I hope they do that, because I do like when they do weird stuff like that. We've got a lot of movies about dinosaurs, you know? We've got a lot of this stuff. Let's do some new stuff, some weird stuff, some raw stuff, slick stuff. That's my Garth Brooks impression. No, I would like to see some stuff that's just different. So if that pertains to the DNA that they captured and brought back, and maybe something goes wrong there and infects humans in a certain way, I think that would be interesting. You know, the dino-human hybrid thing is a horrifying idea, but if they do it minimally, it could work. If they do it minimally, it could work. So I'd be down. I'd be down at this point. I don't care. Resident Zeno, what did you say? You said, sorry, I'm late. Just popped in to say hi. Evenings are the only time to clean the house and run errands. Stupid 9 to 5. Yeah, I know, right? That's why I'm doing this right now. That's why I'm doing this at 9 o'clock. You think I want to be here at 9 o'clock at night doing this till 10:30? Not really. But that's the only time I can do it. But yeah, I totally get that. No problem. There's always the replay, and there's always headphones. You can listen to it while you're cleaning. I do that so much. I'm constantly listening to podcasts while I'm cleaning the house or running errands at the store or something. I was doing it this afternoon. I had headphones with me at Target as I was walking around Target. So yeah. But yeah. I think that's a good place to end. I'm like losing my voice. I haven't done this in a few weeks. So this is what happens. I go away and then I start to lose my voice because I can't do this for extended periods of time. And I don't drink enough water while I'm doing it. So there we go. Not refreshed at all. But anyway, I appreciate everybody stopping by for a little bit. Please go check out the latest episode 423 featuring Jennifer Evans in a return to the Jurassic mailbag. I'm so excited about this episode. Go listen to it. We'll have more mailbags coming soon, so if you want to be a part of those, please go ahead and call us. 732-825-7763. You can leave your voicemail there. I'll play them on the show. Or if you want to, pick up your phone, hit the record button on there, go to your voice memo app, hit that record button, and email your recordings to JurassicParkPod@gmail.com. Or if you want to just write something, I'll read it. I'll read it on the podcast for Jen. So we'll do that sometime in the near future. Go follow us on all those places as well. Blue Sky, find me there as well, and Letterboxd, writing some dumb reviews from time to time, and Jurassic Park Pod over on Instagram. And if you're here on YouTube, please give us a like, a subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm going live. Might just pop up. You never know. But yeah, I'm excited for whatever this time frame of Jurassic is. We're kind of in that unknown period of time again. We just got to wait for the DVD, the 4K to come out in September. And then we got to wait for Chaos Theory. We've got Evolution 3, in October, right? Late October. Then November's Chaos Theory. And then sometime is Survival. Who knows? Who knows really what the horizon looks like outside of that stuff? Because, those are big things, but, they're not movies and they're not the biggest things. So I'm looking forward to whatever's on the horizon, and I can't wait to find out with you all. And we'll be here to report it. So I appreciate you all being here tonight. It's good to be back. Please go follow us over on places like Spotify. You can listen to all the episodes there. Look at that. There's how many episodes? I don't even know. There's hundreds upon hundreds of episodes. Go leave us a review over there. Oh, this is not even Spotify. This is Apple Podcasts. My bad. But if you go ahead and leave us a 5-star review, I'll read them at the end of a lot of the episodes. So go ahead. 5-star review over on Apple Podcasts. Please do that. We've got 365 of them. One for every day of the year so far. 4.8 rating. You know what? Could have been a 5. But, not everybody loved it. It's all right. But please go listen to that on Apple Podcasts. I forgot that I had to switch over to Apple because on these tabs at least, because Spotify stopped working on this iPad for some reason. It won't let you access it. But go listen to the Forcecast. I had some recent episodes over there. We did a whole news segment, and Ryan went ahead and dined in Batu, so go listen to that. Grim Grinning Hosts has had a bunch of episodes recently. I did an episode there with Hunter about Epic Universe and all the things we love about that park, and then we did a conversation on the full HHN lineup, talking about our impressions on that, and then Hunter did another episode with Gary and I think there was somebody else, Dan, on there, and you can listen to them talk about the WWE because that's a part of HHN this year. I was also on, like I said, Road to Rebirth, so go check out that latest episode. And then another podcast I was on recently. Guys, got a lot of stuff. I was on the Real Fans for Real Movies podcast featuring the 12 Great Summer Movie Songs episode. Please go listen to that one. And of course, if you're on Peacock watching Jurassic, you better be going to watch The Unknown Story, Jurassic Park, Season 1, Episode 8. I'm on that episode. Go watch it, all right? Go watch it. Let me know if I gave you some good information about Jurassic Park. It was a full episode of television. Please go watch it. But yes, you're all late, every one of you. No, I'm kidding. Thank you, Nikolai, for stopping by. Hope you watch the replay at some point and appreciate you stopping by at least. But when's the next Forcecast? You know, we were supposed to record tonight, I think, but we had to push it. So I don't know. Sometime soon. I got some ideas for the next episode, so stay tuned there. It'll be out sometime. But what's on my ear? Oh, it's part of my headphones. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you guys tell me? My headphones were coming apart. But I appreciate you all being here. DK says, why do you think the person most likely to die is Kenji? Kenji is feeling very emotional. He's in a very raw state at the moment, and I think he is willing to do anything, and he always finds that drive to go a little crazy and do something very dangerous, and he doesn't have anybody left. He's got nobody. His girlfriend broke up with him. His dad died. Like, he's got nothing left. So he's got nothing to kind of like Ben. Ben has somebody there to like live for, to be, you know, looking forward to go home. Nobody to think about in that split moment where he's like, should I do this or not? Kenji's kind of like a, you know, a wild card at the moment, and I think he could do anything. So I'm looking forward to see what happens with that character there. Alden says, the only things I like about Rebirth is the Rex acting like an animal, like the real deal. We need an animal acting Rex in the next movie. The only thing, well, you know, I disliked a lot about Rebirth, but there's a lot I do like too. So you got to find that middle ground somehow and appreciate some things, even if it's not your favorite one. This one is next to last on my rankings, just ahead of Jurassic Park 3. So I have a hard time with Rebirth, but there is a lot to love, I think. So we'll leave it there. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And there should be a new episode in the feed this week. Stay tuned. And we'll see you next week. Thank you, everybody. As always, stay safe, be kind, and enjoy.